Welcome back to Lambeau Field. Getting set for the start of the second half. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers. The California man doesn't feel the cold at all. Carolina not feeling the cold because they got the start that they wanted in that first half.
Well, they wanted to come out and start fast, and they did at running the football. And it's really two real big runs that separate the two teams right now. 21 points in the first half, obviously terrific, but it's not just the fast start on the offensive side of the ball that Jake Delhomme talked about. It defensively, they started fast as well, because when you look at Green Bay and you looked at their first quarter numbers, both running game and Aaron Rodgers through the air, Green Bay was the team that was off to a slow start today. And here's the early eyes that we had on a couple of key points in this game. Fast start, Carolina first quarter, they got it, 7 points, 96 yards. The run defense for the Packers, we talked about that needing to improve today. It's not very good at all. 101 yards already and 3 rushing touchdowns against that defense. And then the injuries coming in. Tauscher has actually held up. The safeties have not. And I think they're stressed on the back end when you look at how they came into the game and where are they now at halftime.
And our partner Chris Myers has an updated halftime. Chris.
Well, as Jeremy Thompson just came back out, he was hurt on the last play. Defensive lineman for the Packers treated his leg. They hope they'll be able to use him. Atari Bigby, don't count on it because of the shoulder injury. Scott Wells, Mike McCarthy said, I don't think we're going to be able to count on him in the second half. Shaken up, they think it's a concussion, but Ryan Grant will be ready to go. He said he wants Aaron Rodgers to get his timing going and they can rally and avoid turnovers. Now for the Panthers, John Fox said, we got the fast start, now we want a fast finish. Jim Skipper, running back coach, telling me that Jonathan Stewart with the cramp has a hamstring. They're going to try to get him going in the second half, but not very reliable. And Sam and Tim, a parachute jump that was planned for halftime was canceled because of the winds and snow threatening the area.
Thanks, Chris. On the squib kick, Will Blackman on the return. And he looks very healthy on that one as he gets up to the 42-yard line.
And I think the wind will be a factor here in the second half, and more notably, clearly through the air and throwing the football. If it's moving Chris Myers' hair like that, it's blowing. Did you see his hair down there?
It was moving.
That's a heavy
Chris
gust.
was strong, in the first half, the pregame show. He was very warm when he showed us the heating system. Getting cold down there. Packers start from the 42. Jason Spitz is the center. Josh Sitton, the rookie, is the right guard. Scott Wells is out. Donald Lee shifts, and the toss is to Ryan Grant, who cuts it back and has room. Turns it into a big one. It's Brandon Jackson on the run. Excuse me. Brandon Jackson with the big run, as he carries down to the 26-yard line.
Couple things to look at. This is the guy the running back's making the read on. If he gets upfield, cut it back, and then Julius Peppers here gets a little nosy and peeks. He's on a slant. He comes crashing down inside. Good seal block there on Niall Diggs, and there it is for Brandon Jackson.
And my apologies, Jackson showing great quickness. Now has carried just 4 times for 56 yards. Big run from the 26. Off the play fake, Rodgers feels some pressure from Peppers. Got rid of it, but a little low for Greg Jennings. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Packers. Chris Campbell, who, as we mentioned right at the top, with the signing of the 6-year extension, a real big plus. We go back to Brandon Jackson.
Well, and he had the most carries of the year. At their last home game, he had 10. So coming into the game today, he's just short of 5 yards a pop. He's number 4 in catches. He's been a nice little weapon. 2nd-round pick now going into he's in year 2.
Jordy Nelson in it as the 3rd wide receiver. Screen pass for Jackson. He fumbled it, and it's incomplete. It was almost picked out of the air by Charles Godfrey.
And when he comes in the game, it's screen alert. I want you to watch the safety right here in Charles Godfrey. He's already looking for the screen. They told us yesterday, look, when 32 comes in the game, he's the guy that runs all their screens. That's a screen alert for us. Best thing to do when you see a screen is sniff it out, go get it. You saw there Godfrey was all over it. It was a bad throw.
Riley Taylor, number 66, in at defensive end for the Panthers on 3rd and 10. Rodgers steps up, looking. Finally throws, and it's off the hands of Donald Driver. Covered by Richard Marshall on the play. I thought that pass was catchable.
That thing had some heat on it. Now it had some zip, and it was tailing at the end. I don't know if he would have caught it if he would have been in bounds.
Close to the sideline, you're right.
Hot.
This is a 44-yard field goal try for Mason Crosby. Derek Frost, the holder. Gets it away and puts it through. Good kick by Mason Crosby. He's 2 for 2 in the game. Packers start the second half with 3 points. They're still down by 8. Oh, I love the hats. I love the outfits. It's starting to chill a little bit. The wind is picked up.
That's the deal right there.
Temperatures dropping. Where's that snow? Can you see it? It's out there. It is expected later today. We'll see if it holds up throughout the game. Mason Crosby kicks it off. Good line drive kick. Mark Jones, 4 yards deep, takes a knee. Crosby's second touchback of the game. NFL on Fox next week. It's doubleheader day, beginning with the Built Ford Tough pregame show. Vikings and Lions, Falcons and Saints, Eagles and Giants early. Later on, Cowboys and Steelers, Rams and the Cardinals. Next week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. It all begins. Tim and I will be in Detroit.
That's a can't miss, baby.
The Minnesota Vikings, big game for them. And the Lions trying to find that first win of the season. D'Angelo Williams and Brad Hoover in the backfield. Muhsin Muhammad in motion. It's Williams. Gets a couple of yards. Ryan Pickett leads the Packers defense on the stop, number 79.
You know, you talk about D'Angelo Williams and what a year he's had. And John Fox said from last year to this year, he's made the most remarkable gain of anybody on the football team. He's really exploded. I think in watching him, in talking to the guys down there, there's a couple of reasons why. Remember when he was at Memphis, he was almost like in the Wildcat. He was almost playing quarterback and running the football all the time. You play tailback in this league, so much of it is reading the blocks in front of you and being on the same page with the O-lineman. He's figuring it out.
It's Williams again. And he gets up just short of the 30-yard line. D'Angelo Williams is on a streak that has tied a franchise record. 4 straight 100-yard rushing games against Arizona, against Oakland, a big 140, followed by 120 against the Lions, and last week 101 yards against Atlanta. He's had 5 100-yard games this season. He's closing in on 1,000 yards in this, his 3rd season in the NFL. And he's got enough for the first down. Desmond Bishop on the tackle, but D'Angelo Williams gets the first down.
What people don't know is really how thick he is from the waist down. He is all legs now, and he's got a lot more power. Look at those legs. He's got a lot more power than anybody's really given him credit for. And then you were talking about those 400-yard games. Look at how many of those big runs were really between the tackles. Downhill runs. People always looked at him and said, he's a bounce guy. He gets to the perimeter. Not necessarily. He likes to run straight downhill.
Jonathan Stewart is back in. Had a big 43-yard run and then fumbled early in the game. First catch of the game for Steve Smith. Lined up against Tramon Williams. And he picks up 7 yards up to the 38-yard line. Let's check out New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Speaking of first, this is the first touchdown in 14 months from Cadillac Williams. Played his first game after that knee surgery last week. Scores today to give the Bucs a 13-10 lead in the 3rd quarter. Sam and Tim looks like he's all the way back from that blown out knee.
And that's great to see, Kurt. Thanks so much for that update. Big game again, NFC South teams. Jonathan Stewart carries for a first down. Strong run by the rookie from Oregon as he gets up to the 45-yard line.
He's had a very good year. 13th overall pick, and that's the guy. Now you talk about a power back. I said it earlier, he's 240 pounds and really can run over linebackers and can run away from some safeties in this league.
Jason Hunter, number 57, in at defensive end, replacing Mike Montgomery for the Packers. Jeremy Thompson went out with an injury earlier. 2 tight ends. Jonathan Stewart, running back. Delhomme puts it up short and complete. intended for Dante Rosario. They're going to call interference on Woodson. A flag went down late. Mike McCarthy doesn't like it. He wants to see a replay.
Boy, it's almost like the ball was already by Dante Rosario by the time, and I know he's calling for uncatchable ball right there, Mike McCarthy. By the time the contact came, I will not be surprised if they don't pick this flag up. Really, because by the time the contact got there with Woodson over his back, it almost looked like the ball had already passed Dante Rosario.
What a great shot of the
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball was beyond the receiver when the contact occurred.
Good job
Second
by
down.
the officials. John Fox certainly doesn't like the call.
And look at the location of the football when the contact is no contact, no contact, no contact, no contact. The ball is already here by the time the contact gets there by Charles Woodson. That's a good pickup of the flag.
3 tight ends in for Carolina. Jeff King, Dante Rosario, and Gary Barnidge. D'Angelo Williams back in the backfield. On 2nd and 10. Delhomme gets time, and a pass almost picked off by Nick Collins, who is tied for the league lead with 5 interceptions. A dangerous throw by Jake Delhomme.
Well, and it's going to be Brandon Chiller right here. Steve's going to run a little in route. Chiller gets some good contact on him right there, and then Nick Collins jumps it and drops the interception.
5 defensive.
Oh, yeah, no, that hit Chiller right in the ribs.
Justin Harrell in on the defensive line for the Packers. They just get the play off on 3rd and 10, complete to Smith, and he is brought down short of the first down. Nick Collins grabbed him and refused to let go. Steve Smith making the catch, but Collins with a good tackle. Brady Papinga with the helmet back on.
Here's that bump coverage. Tramon Williams just bailing, now going to get in his hip pocket. That's a heck of a tackle by Nick Collins. Steve Smith is so explosive from the waist down. He is hard to tackle one-on-one in open field, and that's a first down saver right there by Nick Collins.
And look at this. Carolina's lining up to go for it. They are 3 for 8 on 4th downs. They almost went Wildcat. Time running down. He's trying to draw him offside. Delhomme trying to draw him offside any way he could. They shifted.
Offense, number 17.
Carolina takes the penalty. Their first penalty of the game. I think Delhomme wants to play in there quicker, does he? Talk about the time. The time was winding down. Jake is intense. Jason Baker's 4th punt of the game. Will Blackman is in on the return. He's standing back at his own 10-yard line. Baker gets it away. Good high punt. Wind holds it up. Blackman lets it bounce. And once again, the ball will be down inside the 10. Second time in the game that the Packers will start from deep in their own territory. This time at the 5. 47-yard punt.
Well, they got the Packer cut man at work down there on Brady Papinga, who just came on a rush. Here he is right here. He's going to lose his helmet, and Travell Wharton's going to go helmet to head. Watch this. Pop. Whoa. Right there. Papinga keeps going, though.
So he knocked the helmet off, and he got headbutted. Packers from the 5. Rodgers puts it up on 1st down and puts it up deep for Donald Driver. Oh. What a catch! What a catch by Donald Driver! Down at the Panthers' 49-yard line, 46 yards.
And I'll tell you, this throw in this wind is pretty remarkable. He takes the inside away from Chris Gamble. Now watch him lay out right on the fingertips and pulls it in. Terrific throw, better catch.
Packers had only 2 pass plays longer than 9 yards in the game until that one. That was perfect. Brandon Jackson in the backfield with Corey Hall, the fullback. Beautiful throw by Aaron Rodgers. He steps back now.
Delay of game, offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So after the long gain,
well, that's
too much time getting the play
right there, and that's the youth of Aaron Rodgers, the inexperience. And you don't, his clock didn't really go off in his head, thinking that he had the time. But when you make a long throw like that, and then the play clock starts right away, obviously it takes a while to run down to back to to where the line of scrimmage and the line of gain is to get the play off, and he lost track of the play clock.
3 wide receivers in. James Jones in for the Packers. 1st and 15. Rodgers feels some pressure. Damian Lewis chasing him. Rodgers turns it upfield. Beautiful run. He stayed in bounds and gets a first down. A run of 16 yards for Aaron Rodgers down to the 38-yard line.
And he's been, Aaron Rodgers, effective at doing this all year. Charles Johnson is going to get upfield. Aaron Rodgers drops back, steps up, and then pops out underneath the upfield defensive end. And when Aaron Rodgers runs to his right, I mean, he's very effective. You can see guys are covered up pretty good down the field, but he's got the mobility to get you positive yards and pick up first downs with his legs.
He's got over 180 yards rushing this season. He's 3rd on the team. Play fake. Rodgers with time. He throws and completes to Greg Jennings, who hangs on. The ball was slipping. He grabbed it, held on, and it's a first down at the 23. And one of the Panthers is hurt. That's Ken Lucas, shaken up on the play.
Aaron Rodgers has all day to throw the football. He's just going to sit back, and then he's going to unload the in route right in front of the zone. And that's where Kenny Lucas got hurt.
Ken Lucas, assistant to the sideline, being checked out. He's replaced by Richard Marshall in the secondary for the Panthers. Packers with a first down at the Carolina 23. Rodgers gets rid of it. Caught by Jennings. Tripped up. Falls forward to the 18-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play. Greg Jennings has now gone over 1,000 yards receiving this season. His first 1,000-yard season. This is 3rd year in the NFL. 4 catches, 41 yards. Make it now 5 catches for Greg Jennings. 46 yards. 2nd and 5. Brandon Jackson in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Rodgers, short drop, fakes, in trouble, the ball batted up, intercepted by Richard Marshall. No, it dropped out. He didn't hold on. He did not hold on. He had it, but when he went to the ground, it popped loose.
I think it's just a good job by, it looked like Darren College, who knocked it out as Richard Marshall was going down with it. Here's the guy that does the pressure right here, Julius Peppers. That ball just comes out there. Richard Marshall's got it, and you see Darren College, who puts the hammer on him right there, along with Mark Tauscher, and the ball comes out.
It's like a receiver. When he goes to the ground, he must possess
it all the way past the ground.
That pass hit one of the Panthers in the helmet. Brandon Jackson in the backfield on 3rd and 5. Rodgers throws to Donald Driver. First down at the 12-yard line. Let's check out the Giants and Redskins for an update and go to Kurt Menefee.
You may have heard this combination before. Brandon Jacobs' touchdown, a little unorthodox for him, going airborne. Nonetheless, pending the extra point, it's a 19-7 lead in the 3rd quarter for the Giants. Tim, and Chris.
Thanks very much, Kurt. Extra point has been made. Giants now lead 20-7. Tampa Bay leading New Orleans 20-10 in an important game as they are 8-3 starting play. That pass is caught by Jennings. They're
calling for a pick. Carolina's calling for an interception.
What do the officials say? Both have the ball. Chris Campbell got up with it. John Fox is ready to challenge. Yes,
there goes. The fast challenge.
He wants to make sure they see him, and he
See the
throws
velocity on that flat?
All right, let's see.
Greg Jennings on the slant route. The ball is low. He goes down with it, and it looked like Gamble just ripped it from him as they go to the ground. Hard to tell if there's any possession if that ball touched the ground and bobbled at all from that angle.
Oh, who had the ball? Who came away with the ball? That's the big question here.
Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Gene Steratore will go under the hood and check it out. Greg Jennings against Chris Gamble. Looked like Jennings had it. Did Gamble pull it away? John Fox throwing the challenge flag on this play.
Called a catch on the field. I think they'll have to stay with it because I don't really think you can overturn it based on what you see right there from those angles.
I don't think there's anything we've been able to see that shows you either that he dropped it or that Chris Gamble wrestled it away and had full possession.
Yeah, the ball just kind of disappears in between the right leg and Chris Gamble. You can't see who really controlled it on the way to the ground, nor can you see if the ball hit the ground. So I think that really they have no choice but to stay with what was called on the field, Sam, what was a catch.
Well, if the call stands, as Greg Jennings wants it to stand, Packers would have a 2nd and 3 at the 5-yard line. Packers have not had a turnover in the red zone this season.
This has been a really good drive for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense. And remember, it all started down deep in his own goal line after that good punt with the long strike to Donald Driver down the sideline on Chris Gamble.
From the 5-yard line.
Here's another look at it, the slant route. And again, you can't see what happens with the ball, as Jennings was trying to pull it in with his right hand and Gamble was trying to pull it out with 2 hands.
Here's Gene
After
Steratore.
review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a completed catch. Green Bay. Carolina will be charged with its first timeout.
All right. Jennings on the catch. Carolina timeout on the challenge. And the Packers drive has gone 90 yards from their 5 to the Carolina 5. And it's a 2nd and 3. Got the full house backfield, the 2 fullbacks, Corey Hall and John Kuhn are in, with Brandon Jackson, the running back. Rodgers still with it, throwing to the corner, touchdown, Donald Lee, the tight end. A Lambeau leap for Donald Lee. 2nd touchdown pass of the game thrown by Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are going for 2 to try and tie the game.
But that was just a great job by Donald Lee selling the run game. Block, 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 block on Nile Diggs, and then he just released to the corner of the pylon, and Aaron Rodgers found him.
Out of the shotgun, 2 tight ends. Rodgers looking left, throwing left. 2-point conversion is good. Greg Jennings, the game is tied. The Green Bay Packers tie it up as Aaron Rodgers passing finishes off their longest drive of the season. 95 yards, touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Donald Lee with his 4th touchdown catch of the season to finish off a 95-yard drive, longest of the season by the Packers. But how about Aaron Rodgers passing 6 for 7 on that drive, 84 yards. The wind picking up now here at Lambeau Field. Crosby, line drive kick, blocked by Hangartner. Dante Rosario, the tight end, picks it up and is pulled out of bounds just across the 20-yard line. I don't know about Hangardner trying to grab that line drive kickoff.
Watch the play action fake on the touchdown. Look at how it holds the linebacker, the safety, and the outside backer, Niall Diggs. And then watch as Donald Lee to the left of your screen, then releases after showing the block. And Aaron Rodgers finds him for the touchdown. Just a beautiful job by Aaron Rodgers. Selling the fake. Now again, Donald Lee, block, release. Back to the pylon, corner of the end zone, and a terrific throw.
Panthers start from the 21. Jonathan Stewart, and it's running back, 2 tight ends. Brad Hoover, the fullback. Stewart behind Hoover, and Ota gets up to the 23-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. Charles Woodson came up to make the tackle.
Charles Woodson has had a terrific season. I mean, you think of his 5 interceptions coming in, but he's been real good in run support. Watch him flash to the left side of your screen here. He's got big Ota, 79, who outweighs him by over 100 pounds, and he just slips back inside and gets in on the tackle. He's going to do this the easy way. I'll go underneath the truck and get in on the tackle rather than go through him.
DJ Hackett in as the 3rd wide receiver for Carolina, with 2 backs on 2nd and 8. Delhomme pressures, almost lost the ball. Aaron Campbell with his 2nd sack almost knocked the ball loose. Delhomme did well to grab it and prevent a fumble.
Well, and look at how he comes underneath. Here he's going to press upfield, and then when Jake steps up, he comes back underneath. He's trying to work that rip, doesn't get it, sees the quarterback step up, so he falls back in inside. Now it's a swat to get the ball out. Well, that's real good work by Delhomme, able to corral that thing and hang on to it and not lose it. But Campman once again, I mean, 2 Pro Bowls over the last 2 years. He's one of the better sack pass rushing defensive ends, Sam, in the pro game.
2 sacks in the game. It's 3rd and 10. Swing it out to Nick Goings, but he falls down. And the Packers are all over him at the 16-yard line. The momentum is carrying now for the Packers. They have come from 11 points down twice in this game. They have tied it, and it's a 3-and-out. Good effort by the Packers defense. Baker. Blackman is deep. 6th punt of the game for Jason Baker. Good high kick. Blackman from the 31. Can he get outside? And a good job. There's a flag down. It's going to be an illegal block.
Yeah, they'll get it on John Kuhn, I think.
Yeah. You can see he's upset with himself. 51-yard punt by Baker, who's kicked very well in this game. Just a 2-yard return. You check out the flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 30 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down, Green Bay.
And it's brought back to the 24-yard line. Check out the NFC South, and here's what's left in this race. Tampa Bay will be at Carolina, at Atlanta, then home for the last 2 games. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Denver at home. Then they have to go on the road to the Giants and to New Orleans.
Look, it's not easy for anybody in that division. This one's coming down to the last couple of weeks of the season to see who wins it.
Rodgers to put it up. Pressure from Peppers. Julius Peppers with another sack. His 1st of the game, his 10th in the last 10 games, and his 5th career 10-sack season.
And watch how he gets upfield and then knocks the hands down and creates a little space to get a vision point of the quarterback. You see, he gets a vision point there of Aaron Rodgers, that Aaron Rodgers is going to step up, and then is able, with a little bit of space, just to use his left hand to swipe, flipped it out of the way and fall back inside for the sack.
Ken Lucas back in at right cornerback for the Panthers. Packers from the 19-yard line, a 2nd and 15. 4 wide receivers. Rodgers puts it up, and a little too far on the pass for James Jones, covered well by Chris Gamble. Bring up a 3rd and long.
And both the ends, good pressure. Peppers is going to come inside, and then watch Charles Johnson's going to take it on the outside. Aaron Rodgers has to get rid of this ball before he gets sacked for the second time in a row, gets sandwiched between the two DNs there.
Riley Taylor comes in at defensive end for Carolina, and Landon Johnson is on the field, number 54. 3rd and 15. Have to get to the 34 for a first down. Rodgers puts it up, and it's caught. Jordy Nelson with a first down across the 40. Good grab by Nelson, and he got some extra yards when he slipped the tackle. A 23-yard pickup.
You got Ken Lucas, who's in a deep drop. He's got the deep third of the field. Jordy Nelson, very intelligent player, their second-round pick this year, just knows where the sticks are, the first down marks, and just drives the defender off and then puts on the brakes and turns and catches what ends up being a big first down.
Good job by the rookie out of Kansas State. Brandon Jackson getting up to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play. Packers have had a big third quarter.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that contrast in total yards.
They now have over 300 yards total offense, 190 yards passing.
Well, we asked how Aaron Rodgers would be in the cold. So far, it's been pretty good.
He's like you, California guy. You don't feel it. On 2nd and 7, the play fake. Rodgers rolls, stops, and finds Donald Lee. First down at the Panthers' 39-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, 20 for 33 in the game.
Donald Lee is going to start right here and ends up coming back across the middle of the field. Look at this throw by Aaron Rodgers in between 4 defenders. I mean, he just threads that thing in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, and he lasers it right on the mark. Super throw.
3 wide receivers in. James Jones is in as the 3rd wide out. Torrey Humphrey, the tight end. Rodgers throwing short to Brandon Jackson. Slips 1. Chris Harris got enough of him to upset him, and he fell down across the 35 to the 33. And we go downstairs to our first down man, Chris Myers.
Sam, impressive. Again, doing this without their starting center, Scott Wells. Ryan Grant, who hasn't played the second half, where totals available. But they're going with Brandon Jackson, who has the hot hand. And the Packers appear hot in chilly temperature at Lambeau Field.
Back in Lambeau Field, Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers. We start the 4th quarter. The Packers on the move at the Carolina 33, a 2nd and 4. Rodgers, short drop, completes it for a first down to Ruvell Martin.
This is the drive that tied it up. Aaron Rodgers starts in his own end zone, throws a beautiful football deep to Donald Driver. Then he gets a penalty for delaying game. Didn't panic. Came back, Sam, and started throwing darts. That one to Greg Jennings. This one to Donald Driver. That one right there, the touchdown to Donald Lee. Then they came and ran the 2-pointer and got a touchdown on that as well, and we're all tied up. Got the 2-point, we're all tied up.
Greg Jennings, the lone wide receiver. Brandon Jackson, been the only running back here in the second half. Ryan Grant has not come back after being shaken up in the first half. First year starting quarterbacks, 20-yard runs and passes. Nobody more than this man, Aaron Rodgers, and he's added to that today.
It's amazing is how many people are talking about Matt Ryan, talking about Matt Castle, talking about Joe Flacco, and really in a lot of categories, Aaron Rodgers is perched above him.
Rodgers, short drop, gets time, throws, touchdown, Greg Jennings. Rodgers working his magic. Greg Jennings beat Ken Lucas. A 21-yard touchdown pass, and the Packers have the lead for the first time today. touchdown passes in the game for Aaron Rodgers. Greg Jennings with his 7th touchdown reception. The extra point is good. 9 plays, 76 yards. The Packers are on the move in the second half.
Sam, here's the touchdown, and I think it was a bust. Watch the deep safety here, Charles Godfrey. He rolls over here to Driver. Lucas is dropping back, trying to push everything to the inside. Thinks he's got help in the middle, and Greg Jennings just spins him around, takes it to the middle of the field, and what ends up looking like an easy touchdown throw and catch from Aaron Rodgers to Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings, I mean, he's got so much speed, and clearly Kenny Lucas is playing for the out route. Greg Jennings cuts it back up inside, gets Ken Lucas to roll over the top is what they call it. He's got to completely turn his back to the quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers picks at it, throws a nice touchdown.
Greg Jennings, 7 catches, 74 yards, including a 21-yarder for a touchdown. Mason Crosby kicks it off. Mark Jones, 1 yard deep. There's a lane there. Jones breaks through. Trying to beat Crosby, he does, and then he's caught from behind, but he gets back to midfield. Jared Bush may have saved a touchdown with a tackle of Mark Jones, a 50-yard return.
I'll tell you who saves the touchdown, and Jared Bush is going to get credit for it, but it's the kicker. Now, his job is, you don't really want this guy tackling, and here he is right here. But watch Crosby. He does enough to make Jones cut, slow down, go sideways, and then it can catch up right there from Jared Bush.
Kenny Petway, the injured Packers player.
And another Packer down on the field. Kenny Petway shaken up. How about Mason Crosby sticking his nose in there?
Does just enough, and watch him stick his head right there. It doesn't look good. He misses the tackle, but forces Mark Jones to cut, slow down his pace, and Bush is able to catch up to him and get the touchdown-saving tackle.
Now, Jake Delhomme's got to lead a comeback off the play fake. He wants to go deep, but his receiver fell down. It's intercepted. There's a flag on the play. Tramon Williams on the return. Williams picks up a couple of blocks, slipped away from Jeff King, and then goes down at the Panther 44. And we check out the flag.
Yeah, Tramon Williams turned and held Muhsin Muhammad. Muhsin Muhammad did a double move and out and up, and as he started to get by Tramon Williams, it looked like Tramon Williams wrapped him up and got him around the waist. And there he is right there. Muhsin does the, yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Pass interference. Defense, number 38. Automatic first down.
That is a long one. Tramon Williams, who's playing the corner position with Charles Woodson moved to the inside at strong safety with all the injuries that they've had.
Well, and you saw last week the double moves from the New Orleans Saints were able to get these guys on the back end because they play so aggressively. And they really want to jump all your first cuts. And as soon as you do that, and then it's a double move, it's, you know, they're really caught in a predicament. And that time, in order not to get beat deep, Tramon Williams had to wrap up Muhsin Muhammad around the waist to try to slow him down.
Ball spotted at the Packers 36-yard line. 2 tight ends in for Carolina. Dante Rosario and Jeff King. D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. Carries. Trying to get outside. Good tackle on the play by Brady Papinga. He grabbed his ankle and refused to let go.
Here's Papinga right, here's Papinga right here. He's going to get up. He's just going to stay right at the line of scrimmage. He's reading the cutback, and does not fall for what the tight end did leading up inside. He just stayed right in his gap of responsibility and took care of the cutback run.
Loss of 2 on that play. Here's Williams again. Cuts it back the other way and gets nothing. Packers defense fired up. This is the 3rd possession of the second half for the Panthers. They had an 8-play drive, a 3-and-out, now this one.
Well, we saw the last time Papinga tackled the cutback. This time he gets front side and forces the cutback. I mean, he's going to get right up inside on Hoover, takes Hoover and the puller, and forces the running back to cut back right to where his defenders were weak.
2 tight ends in for Carolina on 3rd and 11. Delhomme pressured, steps up and throws for Steve Smith. He's got it. What a catch by Smith. He's down at the 1-yard line. He was one-on-one with Tramon Williams, and it's a 36-yard pickup for the Panthers.
You're going to motion him. Remember, I talked about motioning him to get him freed up, and he's just going to run straight down the middle of the field, really a post route. And I don't know what Nick Collins saw. Nick Collins bit on something up inside, which clearly put Tramon Williams man up on Steve Smith, and that's where Steve Smith is so good. You give him a chance to go get it, man coverage, matched up one-on-one with somebody more times than not, Steve comes down.
First and goal. Here's Williams to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. D'Angelo Williams. So the Carolina Panthers answer right back, starting with the great kickoff return by Mark Jones that set him up at midfield. The penalty, the pass interference penalty, and then the big pass and catch to Steve Smith. This is some game, a game that both these teams need badly in their race for the playoffs. Mike McCarthy looking up to see if D'Angelo Williams had gotten over. He did. John Casey for the extra point to tie the game. Oh, we've got a lot of good football to go. Steve Smith is the #1 man. He got shut out in the first half, but here in the second half, he makes the big catch to the 1, and D'Angelo Williams carries it in. Back in Lambeau, we invite you to stay tuned. The postgame show brought to you by AT&T, exclusive BCS standings, and we're told, we don't know what they are, big changes in the BCS standings, which will affect what's going on. Next week is the selection show. We'll find out who's going to which BCS bowl. We'll find out later today which team's going to the Big 12 championship game. Right now here, the game tied at 28. Backing up is Will Blackman. It's a touchback on the kickoff by Reese Lloyd.
You know, we were talking about Nick Collins earlier in the season. He gets away with jumping routes a lot, and that's why he's made interceptions. And you saw him do it there against Gus Frerotte, took that back for a touchdown. Watch him here as he's going to bite a teaser route up in front of him from Muhsin Muhammad, which allows, see, as he bites that, Steve Smith gets behind him and leaves Steve really out leveraging Tramon Williams, the corner, and Jake just puts it up, and really was a key play on that drive, getting him right down inside the 5 for the touchdown punch in.
4th possession of the second half for the Packers. They've scored on all 3 thus far. A field goal, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Jackson, stop. No gain on the play. Niall Diggs, the former Packer who played here for 6 years, leading the way on the defensive charge.
Terrific play there, taking on the fullback and keeping his outside arm free to where he could get in on the tackle. And Jake Delhomme was telling us yesterday, he rode the bus over with Niall Diggs. And he said, how was it playing here? Niall Diggs was a very good linebacker here for 6 years. He said, there is absolutely nothing like it. Jake said, I was getting juiced up just talking to him.
Heavy clouds rolling in. We could get snow any minute. 4 wide receivers for the Packers. Empty backfield. Rodgers throws short. He's got a man, Rubel Martin. Up to the 38-yard line, a first down. Rodgers' passing game has been sharp here in the second half. A pickup of 17.
Charles Godfrey just busts here. Here's Godfrey, the safety. He's going to get out, and they double out here. He thinks he's got the flat. 2 guys in the flat, and Rubel Martin squeezes it inside on a slant route. Aaron Rodgers, with a blitz in his face, finds it for the first down pickup.
4 wide receivers again. Getting good protection is Aaron Rodgers. He's been sacked once. But even with the empty backfield, he's got time to throw, and this time connects with James Jones up to the 41-yard line. Let's go to Chris Myers. No snow yet, Chris.
Not yet, but Sam, you can see why Mark McCarthy was calm at halftime, saying, I want to get Rodgers into a rhythm. And you talked about how you and Tim, how Aaron handled the takeover from Brett Favre. He alienated some Packer fans in the offseason when he said, hey, just get over all the drama. But from the fans to the old of Driver, the new of Jennings, they appreciate the professionalism and the ability of Aaron Rodgers, who is definitely their man.
13 for 18 in the second half, Chris. He is definitely in rhythm. Here he throws quickly to Rubel Martin up to the 44-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Packers as we check out the dark clouds that have moved in overhead as they anticipate snow this afternoon. Aaron Rodgers, his first year starting quarterbacks, leads all first-year starting quarterbacks.
Well, we asked him on Friday. We said, how is it? He goes, man, he absolutely loves playing. He said, just being back out there again and having an opportunity to get the ball in your hands and be part of it every Sunday. He just lit up. He looked at us. He says, fellas, I'm loving it.
Timeout called. We'll be right back. We weren't kidding. There's the snow. Next Sunday is prime time. The All-State BCS selection show. We'll find out where the teams are going to which bowl games. And later today, exclusive BCS standings on the postgame show. Rodgers in trouble, runs for the first down. There's the mobility we talked about. He got out of trouble and got it up for the first down. Damian Lewis tripped him up.
And again, it's to the right side. The left end gets upfield. He escapes right underneath him. And then how about the vision point? As Julius Peppers was going to go cut him off, Aaron Rodgers reads it, cuts upfield, lays out head first down.
4 runs for 24 yards for Aaron Rodgers. His passing has been pretty good too. 26 for 39, 268 yards. Brandon Jackson slipped a couple of tackles and picked up 4 yards on the play. The Packers have had a big second half.
Brandon Jackson has had a nice day, hadn't he?
Yes.
He's got 8 or 9 carries, I think. I know he's under 10, and he's up over 8 yards a pop.
69 yards, had that big 32-yard run. 2 tight ends in. 2nd and 6.
You got the 6.
Motions. There's Brandon Jackson fighting his way, trying to get to the first down mark. But he's a little bit short. Gets down to the 42-yard line. Niall Diggs on the tackle.
Really good block by Donald Lee, who's had a nice game. He's going to be right here, and watch him come hit Thomas Davis and drive him out of the hole. He's going to hit, just continue to wall him off and push him out, which creates a nice little gap. And then Brandon Jackson's able to break up the tackle on Beeson and pick up a couple of extra yards.
8 for 14 on 3rd down plays of the Packers in the game. Here's 3rd and 2. Rodgers puts it up to the tight end. And it is very close to the first down. It's Jermichael Finley.
They got to come measure this one. This is close.
Finley, the rookie tight end, is 6'5". I think he may have come up a little short. That is going to be real close. Thomas Davis made the tackle. They will bring in the chains from the far side to measure this one. Well, John Fox told Chris Myers they got the strong start. They need a strong finish, but it's the Packers who have really outplayed Carolina here in the second half. They stretch it.
Got it.
Oh.
No, it's an inch.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You can't get any closer. Gene Steratore is looking, trying to determine if the nose of the football is touching. No, he says no. That is literally 1 inch away from a first down. 4th and an inch.
Really a nice catch by Jermichael Finley. He reaches out and grabs it. And there's the knee down. That's a good spot. That is a good spot. Where the football was, you could see when the knee hit where the football was. And look at the snow starting to come down sideways.
It's coming. The wind is blowing. It has really picked up. And now the crowd getting loud. Packers are 5 for 12 this season on 4th down conversions.
Kuhn's been 4 for 4 from the 30, the fullback.
Quarterback stays diving for 1st down is Rodgers. He put the ball out there dangerously, but he had those big mitts around it. Jason Spitz, who moved over to center, led the way.
Well, it's submarine in order the defensive tackles. And you saw the lefty tackle there go really down low to try to get some surge, and Aaron Rodgers just goes over the top and lays the ball out in front of the plane of the 1st down and picks it up.
1st down for the Packers, just inside the 40-yard line. 10th play of this drive. Off the play fake. Rodgers, the deep drop, has time, and he finds a man. Greg Jennings inside the 25. They'll spot it at the 22. 17-yard pickup.
And the key is the time that Aaron Rodgers has, because watch him survey the field. He's going to drop back. He's going to look left, look left, look left. He actually had Donald Lee, and then gets Greg Jennings on a late inside dig route. Good Jennings look out to the sideline and then just break it off in front of the safety Charles Godfrey. And Aaron Rodgers gets it to him.
Jennings with his 8th catch of the game. That ties a career high. Donald Lee in motion. Short drop. Rodgers throws. Complete to Driver. Driver to the 10. Inside the 10-yard line. Down at the 9. In the 1st half, Aaron Rodgers had just 2 completions of 10 yards or more. Here in the 2nd half, he's had 8.
It's been terrific, and they have dominated time of possession, and I think the confusion continues. They both, 2 defenders, go out here with Torrey Humphrey. I mean, you see Niall Diggs and the corner back out there with Humphrey, and Donald Driver coming off that little snug set just takes it inside, turns around on the hook route, and gets the 1st down.
1st and goal at the 9. Corey Hall, the fullback. Brandon Jackson, the running back. They stop the play.
Delay of game, offense, number 12, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
2nd delay of game against the Packers. Mike McCarthy sending the plays in.
And really good stuff in terms of the play selection. And look at what they've been able to do ball control here in the 2nd half of this game. I mean, total domination by the Green Bay Packers. And you think of the play selection on this last drive. I think five runs, 6 passes. And good play calling, good execution from the quarterback and the receiver.
You saw Jake Delhomme. All he can do is sit and wait. 2 tight ends in. And Michael Finley and Donald Lee, everybody out. Rodgers in trouble. Being chased by Tyler Brayton and chased him out of the bounds. Oh, a late hit. Bad play by Julius Peppers.
Oh, he's tough. Watch him break contain. It's good coverage downfield. He's got nowhere to go with the ball. Again, he escapes out the side door to his right, which he's done all day today. And then Peppers coming up late and just lays the wood on his back after Aaron Rodgers had already stepped out of bounds.
Unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 90. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
And you know, Aaron Rodgers has played through a shoulder. We talked about it earlier, sprained his shoulder earlier in the year. And he said, and really pointed that out to us the other day, that one thing that he's proud of is how he's answered the questions in terms of the durability. We all know what Favre did and not missing any starts and playing hurt. And Aaron Rodgers says he feels real proud of the fact that he's come out with injuries and he's been able to play through them this year. And you can see there his toughness level is sky high, taking that big shot from Pep.
Brayton had done a great job chasing him, and Peppers just never stopped. He didn't know where he was. He was out of bounds. First and goal at the 7. There's Brandon Jackson cutting it back. He's got it to 1-yard line. He's inside the 1. John Beeson made the tackle.
Sam, it was a good run, but there's always a good block in front of a good run. And watch this guy here as he ends up on Thomas Davis, and watch the junction point right here. Bam! And Kuhn just pushes him right out of there. And Brandon Jackson cuts up inside the safety, Chris Harris, and again, Beeson has to come from the backside to clean it up.
And here is second and goal. 3 tight ends in, Lee, Humphrey, and Finley. Jackson, he's hit. He was hit short of the line of scrimmage. May have wound up losing half a yard back to the 1-yard line. By the way, on that play where Rodgers was hit out of bounds by Pepper, that was ruled a sack because he was chased out of bounds by Tyler Brayton. So
got it.
A sack.
Well, this is, I mean, that's going to be an issue right there for the Carolina Panthers.
Now it's third and goal from the 1. 3 tight ends in. It's the fullback, Kuhn, and he doesn't get in.
Kuhn, the ball carrier.
Great job up front by the Panthers defensive line.
And I said it a little while ago, Kuhn has been terrific on short yardage. But Charles Johnson, really Charles Johnson, all the guys, but Charles Johnson is the one that gets the big push on the right tackle and forces Kuhn to run right into the back of him.
After sending Aaron Rodgers onto the field, Mike McCarthy brought him off, sends on Mason Crosby with 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter as the Packers look to regain the lead. It's officially a 19-yard field goal attempt. And it's right through. And the Packers lead 31-28. They have dominated time of possession. 20 minutes, 34 seconds for the Carolina Panthers.
And it's really been a nice mix for him offensively. Running the football with Brandon Jackson, good blocking up front. Aaron Rodgers having a lot of time to throw the football, and he's been absolutely precise here in the second half. And it's encouraging too, because didn't know how Aaron Rodgers was going to play in the cold, in the wind, in the snow. All of the above have happened in this football game today in terms of the elements, and Aaron Rodgers has just gotten better throughout the football game.
Second half, the Packers have scored every time they've had the ball. It started with a field goal, then the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion to Greg Jennings, the touchdown pass to Greg Jennings, and the field goal by Mason Crosby. Field goal, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. And this last drive was 16 plays. That's their longest drive of the season. 9 yards, 9 minutes, 13 seconds.
And they've really just played doubled up Carolina in time of possession in this game.
Mark Jones from the goal line. Can he get another big return? He tries to take it outside. He's got a good return. Jones still going, and he's out of bounds at the 45. Another great return. 50-yarder earlier. He got a 45-yarder right here.
It's the kicker, Mason Crosby, that pushes him out of bounds. Being down a field goal with what the clock looks like, under 2 minutes, to have a return like that, it's a huge shot in the arm. Now it's really a couple of big passes, and they're in field goal range for Casey.
Jake Delhomme has had 15 career game-winning drives in the 14 total in overtime as well. Starting from the 45, Delhomme throwing deep for Steve Smith. He made the catch. He made the catch, and he is down at the 1-yard line again. That ball was up for grabs. There were two defenders, and Steve Smith took it away from the Packers.
Nobody plays the ball better in the air than Steve Smith. Jake Delhomme just puts this up. Woodson is actually playing upfield shoulder and is in great position to go get the interception. Steve Smith reaches back. I don't know what Charles Woodson, whether he stopped to try to pick it off, but he got into a bad position. Steve Smith able to use his body, shield him, and again come up with a big catch right down the middle of the field.
Packers called timeout. That's a 54-yard play. Was there a little push-off by Steve Smith on Charles Woodson there?
The good ones usually have a little subtle push-off, and here's another look at it. And again, I think Charles Woodson, as Jake just throws that ball off his back foot, Charles Woodson's thinking interception, and then he kind of puts on the brakes to get behind Steve Smith and get himself a pick, and Steve Smith uses his body to shield him. And again, when you put it up like that, Steve Smith is going to come down with more of those than he's not.
4 catches, 105 yards for Steve Smith. All the second half 100-yard game of the season.
The previous play is under review.
Yeah, they're going to see where he went down, and if he went down from contact from Charles Woodson, therefore the ball would not be as close to the goal line.
Okay. And again, within the last 2 minutes, or if this game should go to overtime, it's all booth review.
Now let's see if it's the contact from Woodson that forces Steve Smith to go down. There's no contact. No contact. No. There's no contact. So the ball, I think, is going to stand right where Brandon Chiller took him down. That's where the ball is going to be placed, right where it was initially, because there is no contact from Woodson, which forces Steve Smith to go to the ground.
And the official was on the play, watching it all the way, never ruled it down.
Now you have to ask yourself, if the ball does stand here, and I think it will on the half-yard line, if you're Green Bay, do you just let him score? And I guess when only down by 3 and being a field goal, you got to really try to play your best short yardage defense.
We welcome those of you who are watching San Francisco and Buffalo. Congratulations to the 49ers, their 4th win of the season. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers here in Green Bay at Lambeau Field in a back-and-forth game. Carolina led 21-10 at halftime. Packers with a big second half took the lead on a field goal just 24 seconds ago, but a 54-yard pass from Jake Delhomme to Steve Smith has put the Panthers on the Green Bay 1. The play under review from upstairs in the booth to see whether Steve Smith might have been down earlier. He got up and ran to the 1-yard line.
I think it's a moot point whether they call him down or not from the contact from Woodson. The fact is he really didn't gain possession until he was already free from Woodson. He's still bobbling. Now he's got full possession. Again, I think it's going to stand right where it was called. Right at the half-yard line is where they're going to keep the placement and the spot of the football.
Gene Steratore is our referee. He's in contact with the people upstairs. They have checked it out. Mike McCarthy has had his team come back with a huge second half. 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns, led by the passing of Aaron Rodgers.
I think only being down by 3, you got to do your best to hold them to a field goal. I mean, if it was 4, you may let him score so you can get the ball back as quick as possible. After review, the ruling on the field stands. The receiver after the catch was not down by contact until he was downed at the 1-yard line. Be first down, Carolina.
So first down inside the 1-yard line as the Panthers try to regain the lead. They led by 11 points in the first half twice. And we welcome those of you who just watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the New Orleans Saints here in Green Bay. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers. Carolina trailing the Packers 31-28 after leading 21-10 at halftime. But now after a big kickoff return and a long pass to Steve Smith, the Panthers try to take the lead. Panthers have 1 timeout remaining. Play clock looks like it's been stopped. There's first and goal. 2 tight ends in. D'Angelo Williams. He's in for his 4th touchdown of the game. D'Angelo Williams, with a career-high 4 touchdowns, has given Carolina the lead.
Well, watch what they do to Aaron Campman right here. Watch both tight ends, Rosario and Jeff King, and then Otah gets it started. They take Aaron Campman and put him 5 yards into the end zone, which creates the huge alleyway for D'Angelo Williams on the touchdown.
John Casey for the extra point. And it's a 4-point lead for Carolina. And we welcome those of you who are watching the Giants and the Washington Redskins. We welcome you to Lambeau Field. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers. This has been a back-and-forth game. Carolina led 21-10 at halftime. Green Bay has dominated the second half. Just under 2 minutes to go. Green Bay took the lead 31-28. Then Mark Jones returned the kickoff 45 yards. Jake Delhomme hit Steve Smith for 54 yards down to the 1-yard line, and D'Angelo Williams went in for his 4th touchdown of the game. And Carolina 8-3 on the season, trying to remain tied with Tampa Bay for first place in the NFC South, has a 35-31 lead. Numbers in the game: Aaron Rodgers 29 for 42, 298 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 210 of those yards coming in the second half. And Greg Jennings with a career high 8 receptions. Snow falling. It started here in the 4th quarter. Aaron Rodgers will get a chance to bring the Packers back. They have scored every time they've had the ball here in the second half. Now this is Green Bay weather, Tim. Reese Lloyd on the kickoff. Will Blackman 1 yard deep. Blackman is pulled down as he got to the 16-yard line. Nick Goings in on the tackle. Second half for Aaron Rodgers has been something special. The play fakes, and he hit Donald Lee for a touchdown pass. They went for 2 points to tie the game to Greg Jennings. That tied it at 21. Then they took the lead on a touchdown pass to Greg Jennings. And this was when, after being tied, that field goal gave the Packers a 3-point lead. But Carolina coming right back, now leading 35-31. From the 17. Aaron Rodgers, empty backfield. 4 wide receivers. Pump fake, puts it up. Too far for Greg Jennings. The wind has become a factor now. It's a swirling wind down on the field.
Well, it's been a factor the whole second half, and it really hasn't affected Aaron Rodgers and his arm strength. He's got great velocity on the football. I think that one there, he just tried to loft it out there. The receiver was open on the out route. He just put too much air under the football. He's got to put that more on a laser and throw it harder, because it just ended up sailing on.
Crucial game for the Packers, who've lost 3 of their last 4. They're at 5-6 and a game out in the NFC North. Everybody out. Pressure from Julius Peppers. Rodgers puts it up deep for Driver, and it is intercepted by John Beeson, the middle linebacker.
Intercepted by John Beeson.
And a dejected Aaron Rodgers comes off, his first interception of the game.
Well, and this is where he said he gets in trouble at times. And I know you got to press here at the end of the game. Still has 2 timeouts left in this game. And he tries to make a play with 4 defenders around Donald Driver. Watch him again. This has been a huge escape alley for him all day. Popping out to the right. You see Driver coming across the field here. He's got defenders all around him. I mean, there's 5 defenders really in that vicinity. And Aaron Rodgers trying a little too hard to make a play as Beeson comes up with what looks like the game-saving interception.
Beeson's 3rd interception of the season. Packers still have 2 timeouts remaining. D'Angelo Williams getting through a hole. DJ Hawk wrapped him up, but he picked up 8 on the play. Today's game was produced by Mike Burks, directed by Rich Russo, associate director Tom Yohe. Broadcast associate Eric Mandia. Technical producer is Frank Phillips. Our technical director is the governor, John Howard. Pre-game show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producer Bill Brown. Executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Spotter in the booth, Gary Lynn. Our statistician in the booth, Evan McGuire. Computer stats, Mark Sazda, Ty Yoey on the Fox Box. And don't forget, coming up on the AT&T post-game show, exclusive BCS standings. The word is a big shakeup in those standings. And next week, the BCS Bowl Selection Show in prime time right here on Fox.
Will the Trojans be part of that shakeup, Sam?
Right. So, why not? D'Angelo Williams thrown back, and the Packers use their final timeout. Green Bay, if they don't come up with a miracle here, will go to 5-7. Tonight, Minnesota playing Chicago. The winner of that game will be 7-5. The Packers will be down 2 games with 4 games remaining. Carolina will remain tied with Tampa Bay at 9-3 for first place in the NFC South with 4 games remaining, though Tampa Bay has the tiebreaker right now. Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith. Steve Smith with 4 catches in the game.
He didn't have a catch in the first half of the football game. Did not have a catch.
They totally shut him down. A couple of sacks in the game for Carolina. Julius Peppers involved. Oh, he also had a big hit on Rodgers for a penalty. Williams brought down short of the first down line. This will be a big one. Jake Delhomme put it up, but Steve Smith made the play here against Charles Woodson.
Yeah, I don't know if Charles just mistimed his jump or tried to get behind Steve Smith, thinking the ball was going to trail a little bit back behind Steve, but Steve just goes up and gets it. What he's done so many times in his career. I mean, the guy came in as a punt returner and became one of the better receivers in pro football throughout his career and just plays so much bigger. He's 5'9", 185 pounds, and he doesn't play that way. He's almost got the body of the play of a big receiver in terms of how he uses his body in the air to shield off defenders and really go capture the football.
Panthers let the clock run down, call a timeout with 13 seconds remaining, and send on their punting unit. Don't forget, next week here on Fox, it's a big doubleheader Sunday. And it all begins with a Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. Vikings and Lions. Tim and I and Chris Myers will be there. Late games, Dallas and Pittsburgh. That'll be something special. Rams and Cardinals. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox.
Now remember, Carolina has had 3 punts blocked this year.
And everybody up. Packers have 11 men on the line. They're going after Jason Baker, and he gets it away. And it stays in bounds. It rolls and rolls. The clock ticks off.
Don't touch it.
And the clock is stopped with 2 seconds. So 1 play left. And for the Carolina Panthers, this will be a great road win for them. With the snow coming down and the wind picking up, the Panthers, despite the fact that Green Bay played so well in the second half, came up with a couple of big plays. Had 2 great returns, kickoff returns by Mark Jones.
That's the crusher right there, and especially the one late as Green Bay took the lead, and then of course the big pass that we've showed to Steve Smith was the difference maker here in the second half.
There's the last play of the game, provided there is no penalty. Rodgers throws, Jennings drops it, and that's it. The Carolina Panthers have defeated the Green Bay Packers 35-31. 4th loss this season for the Packers by 4 points or fewer. The Carolina Panthers now 9-3, Packers 5-7. We'll be right back.